Right, first install of the latest Viessmann 200. It's not quite complete yet, as you can see with the flue there and the control missing. The new jig, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I didn't used to use the other one because I found it horrible, but this one is brilliant. Just lift the boiler up, drop it in place. There's like a widened recess that narrows down as it goes down, just drops in on O-rings in there. So you lift the boiler on the wall, drop it in place, and it all slots in. So you can pre-plumb with the wall jig, everything with the boiler out of the way, really nicely, really easily. And then just literally lift the boiler in place and it drops into place. The back bracket is much easier here, look, to work on. This is great. And excuse me tipping the phone over. Inside though, one down point, they've changed the way the electrical plugs are rigged, so you can't actually test your polarity at the point of entry to the boiler, which is very frustrating. If you turn the boiler on, you must have it wet, which I didn't have when I wanted to do my electrical tests. So that's a pain. So I've had to actually cut, because I've got the original cable coming in, I've had to cut the mains lead from the boiler using the relay position here, just cut and shut it and place it in there. A little bit annoying. Inside the boiler, got much better filtration system here, look, massively long hoses, so going to trap a lot more dirt in there, stop it getting into the works, and a nice big long one at the back to stop it getting in the heat exchanger. Still the same silly idea, the new one where they've connected it actually up behind the heat exchanger, so if you want to change that back hose, you've got an additional 3 screws to undo on the heat exchanger to drop it out. Looks like I had room for a bigger expansion vessel, which is a shame they haven't. I'd like to see a much bigger expansion vessel. It'll save me putting an additional one down there possibly. Plate heat exchanger, I looked at that insulation box and thought a pain, but it's actually in 2 parts. Undo the terminal, slide this off the front and you can access the screws. One of the new pumps, which we know is a problem for all boilers, going to be a constant nightmare on dirty systems. Plate heat exchanger I think is far too small. The beauty of a Viessmann 200 for years has been the fact that a big beefy heat exchanger on here, and that allowed for the fouling factor and gave us much longer service between problems. This is going to be more problematic. We're going to be coming out and cleaning plate heat exchangers on these like we are on all the other boilers. If we're lucky, they might sell an uprated plate heat exchanger for this and give us a bigger one. Condense trap's a dream, just pops in and out on that lug. A little bit difficult, and I've got an injury at the moment, so I can't actually pull it out on my right arm, and I'm rubbish with my left one. 35 kilowatt combi, so that's 20:1 modulation ratio, and this is a small house, 2 or 3 bedrooms I think, and as a matter of interest I've had a 2 kilowatt, little 2 kilowatt heater in there, over there, running while I've been working here, and the house has been warm and comfortable with 2 kilowatts, and it's probably about 5 or 6 degrees outside, maybe a bit cooler. So I would imagine, you know, really not going to be much more than about, I doubt we're going to need more than 8 kilowatts to heat the whole house. So just about any other boiler other than this as a combi would have been cycling like crazy, but now I can give maximum size 35 kilowatts and expect to see almost no cycling from the boiler. As usual, I've cabled it in for weather comp, it's over in the back there. So very easy install.